everybody.
Hello. Good evening.
Day, fellow listeners.
Humans of the planet Earth. Yes. No.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome to Minisode.
You know what? I don't even know what number it is anymore.
Six.
Six.
We're gonna say 6. Correct us if I'm wrong, but
well, here's the thing:
six.
is like if you listen back to our episodes, we fuck up the number like 90% of the time.
100%.
We're just like Minisode 4, and it's like Minisode 2.
Yeah. So, welcome to a Minisode.
Welcome to a Minisode. We took a week hiatus. We're tired
all the time.
All the fucking
Parenting
time.
is just an endless seam of being tired.
I think that's my biggest daddy issue right now is how tired I am.
Yeah, actually, I've been pretty fortunate. You've been getting the raw end of the stick. You've had nothing preparing you for this kind of sleep deprivation in your life. And I have come from a unique perspective of nothing but sleep deprivation before my children.
Yeah.
And, I feel maybe the Force looked at me and said, hey, you did this to yourself. We're going to tone it back with the kid just a little, maybe. I don't know.
Crystal meth is a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug, folks. Fun times. Not fun times. Don't try it ever.
No, don't try meth. There are better drugs to try, like hugs.
Yes, good drug. Them hugs, they're good.
Yeah, so
available at your pharmacy, but don't ask your pharmacist.
I'd like to fill a prescription for hugs.
Just stare awkwardly. So today we're talking about sleep and the crazy detriments from it, and a little quickie.
We'll get into that.
You'll get into that in a bit.
Because we got some shows that we want to promote.
That's right. We on next week, the 22nd and the 23rd, comedy night at Vinny Brewing Pub, as well as comedy night at Whippersnapper Brewing.
Yeah, Whippersnapper, that's like the place that we drink all their beer from.
All the time.
We're drinking their beer today, right?
Yes, this is... What is this?
We're drinking the Troublemaker. I think I might have been drinking this the last time as well. It's their Black Cherry Smoke Double IPA.
It is. It's dark.
It's smoked. There's some cherry.
Hasn't finished.
It's 9%, so we're just going to throw that into some double IPA.
So that's why I'm like, I will take this beer. That's right, because it is almost borderline a malt liquor.
This was actually one of their birthday beers. They're one of their 5th anniversary birthday beers.
Nice. They're like, by the way, have some of this, because we upped the alcohol by volume.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before about Whippersnapper, but they put out a new unfiltered beer every single week.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so like this week they've got an Irish Red that just like sold out for Remembrance Day very quickly.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be a good mover. Yeah.
Next week they have an Imperial Stout, and it's based off of a 9 Inch Nails beer.
Nice.
I think it's just...
Is it called Hurt?
No, it's called the Imperial Stout beer.
Oh.
But then it's got like the 9 Inch Nails logo on the bottom corner.
Okay, Imperial Stout.
But like it doesn't come out till Friday. But I was in there today talking with them, and he gave me a try of it. And I don't even like stouts, but it was delicious. It had like a sweetness to it that I wasn't used to with the stout.
So that's good. They're the Saturday show on the 23rd. Andrew Albert is our headliner. Andrew's got every major credit that you can get in Canada. He's just an incredibly funny guy. And our host for that evening is the incredible Miller Crosby.
She hosted Don't Fret.
Just last week, which is a great turnout. Super awesome. I'm going to try to push that for Fringe this year. We're going to take the profits and redirect that. So dice roll, maybe cross our fingers. We'll get that happening for them and go for that.
You should have a different host for every show of that. Like have the same like performers, but have a different host that has like a different like musical take or something like that.
Yeah, just something like that. Well,
I could do my hip hop.
Yeah, Saturday night show will be just the EDM host. Yeah. That's a good idea. It's a good concept. Miller did an incredible job. It was actually the best fit for that whole thing. It's pretty hard to strike a balance when you have 4 really talented gentlemen, someone to just bridge that gap, and I think it was very good. She did a very good job.
Yeah. And those are the 4 guys that were on the Don't Fret. We had Oliver George, who was on episode 4. You can go back and listen to that. They really come out of their own bubble when they have an instrument in their hands, right? But it's not like in a hacky manner. Like,
no, definitely not.
How like musical comedy, sometimes you groan and roll your eyes.
This was not
But
bad.
these guys have talent to it, and they're... Aaron Hill, he was on the show. He put out a music video about not eating ass.
Not eating bum. That's right, not eating bum. And he performed that at his opener, actually. And it was very good. Actually, the star of the music video, one friend of the show, one Heather Hurst was in the audience.
Yeah.
And she was feeling no pain whatsoever, and just jamming to that song like it was meant for her. So it was fun. It was a great night, and the show will be coming back. Even if we don't get chosen for Fringe, we're gonna BYOV.
Yeah,
I just believe in that production. It's really great. So,
and you know what? Here's something cool. We're gonna throw to you guys. Our listeners are from all over. I've been kind of following the stats, and actually, we've now surpassed more American listeners than a Canadian listener.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, USA.
Thank you, USA.
Yeah.
But we still love you, Canada, the most.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Free healthcare.
If you want us to come and perform in your town, just let us know. We'll find a way to do it.
We'll be on vacation.
He's winking.
That's right.
But yeah, like we'll bring like daddy issues with us, and
we'll just come and do it. We're also planning a Legion tour for the spring.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Haven't reached out to any of them yet, but Almont and Renfrew are on the mark.
Nice, Carleton Place
as well. It'd be kind of a trifecta of those three.
But you got also Perth, then you got Petawawa. I guess Petawawa's
they've got
many
shows, a couple of shows. So really, we want to start local, and we'll work from there. But reach out to us if you all want to see the act, and we are definitely on those shows next Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. So that was that. Now, anything else?
No.
So how's your week been, champ?
I'm so tired. Here's the thing: is like I used to brag about how well baby Champ slept when we first brought her home.
Yeah.
And something happened over the last week. It's like we broke her.
Yeah.
Or she just broke, because now it's like the last 2 nights have been okay, but last week it was like every 90 minutes just shrieking. Whoa. And it went all night, and then it would go all day. And so it got to the point where like you're only sleeping in like 45, 60-minute increments. We're trying to spell each other off. Did you ever have that when Eric and Eddie were kids?
When Eddie, is very, very fortunate that like Amanda basically had Eddie for most of the day, and we co-slept with Eddie right in bed. We weren't it was just easiest. And at first we thought, we crush him or anything, but then when you realize you feel that little body towards the small of my back, I know where he is. Mm-hmm. It became it was easier to have a reflex of he's there as opposed to the reflex of, oh my God, he's awake, and crying really hard. Mm-hmm. So that was our adjustment. Eddie slept like a goddamn champ. There was not in this case, but a champion. Absolutely. like he slept incredibly well. He, from the get-go, would pull 6-7 hours and just done. And his fussiest times were in the afternoon. And just getting settled.
Well, I think a big part of like the fussiness in the afternoon is there's the stimulation of being awake throughout the day, but babies still need those naps throughout the day, and it's hard to get a baby to sometimes go down for a nap during the day, so they become fussier because they're more tired.
Yeah.
We've started a bedtime routine, which is important, right?
100%,
the bath is usually, like, we don't bathe her every single night because she's still only 3 months, but like the bath, like a nice warm bath, the change. We actually have a few stories that we read with her, and then we finish off with the Snuggle Puppy song.
Oh, that's cool. Snuggle Puppy remix version.
I give it a remix. Like I'll do like awful accents and random like reggae beats. And Kate comes in. She's like, no. This is the last thing she hears before she goes to bed. Stop fucking it up. And I'm just like, Snuggle Puppy, you're the one. She's like, that's not even the words.
Yeah, so you've been cut, right? You've been totally
no
remixes, no. All right, well,
I as long as I sing it through right the second time. The first time I can do whatever I want.
Okay. Yeah, no one's paying attention to the first cut.
No. Well, the baby is.
Well, okay, yeah, but she's not really.
And then we pop her into like this like sleep sack, and then
swaddling was super important. Yeah.
We play the Jack Johnson Curious George soundtrack.
Okay, it's all right.
It's weird, but it calms her down. Like 2 songs in, and she's asleep.
Eddie would pass out in his bedtime routine after a bath and nice soothing things like that. Amanda would put on John Lennon Imagine.
Okay.
And that was be kind of his soothing thing, Imagine by Lennon. And any Beatles music in itself would be very calming. In utero, he loved Beethoven. Now, I wasn't sure if that was just because he was like, not the Ninth Symphony, not the Ninth, or
dun, 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 dun.
Jumps out a window. No, but, and then, so Erica's completely different too, right? She never co-slept with us. She was in the room with us on a side sleeper, not a bassinet or anything. It was just like an extension of our bed. And she, as soon as she had her routine down, she was like, please, no. And I was very thankful that she didn't sleep in our bed because she's a scrappy sleeper. I call her Scrappy-Doo Sleepy Times because she will punch, she will kick, she will have night terrors, mostly like, no, Eddie, don't take that toy, and just nothing. And then sometimes just like, no, don't touch me. And I'm just like, what? And I'm like, and then the next words are, Eddie, no. I'm like, okay.
So she has night terrors about her brother.
Yeah, she totally has night terrors about her brother, and she punches and kicks, and like recently, when she's not feeling well and things like that, she'll crawl right into my bed and pass out, and I'll wake up with like a sore face, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Erica, all right. I got kicked in the head in my sleep, and I sleep like a freaking rock, so yeah.
How, when did you move them into their own space?
Erica was just a little over a year, and Eddie was, same age, around 2,
year?
yeah. Year and a half.
And like you moved them into a crib?
Yeah, it was a crib with a nice little wall. Then after the second birthday, they were like scaling it. So we were like, okay, enough of that. Got them flat beds.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that transition from like bedroom to bedroom go?
Bedroom to bedroom for Erica was like, yeah, I love it. Eddie is still very much needing mommy to pass out with him on weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that one for sure. And I'm sure he's going to get over it, and I'm sure it's not warping him, but it still gets me.
Well, because Eddie's older.
6. He's like 6.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just like, man, you don't need mom to pass out with, and he just makes it a huge scene.
Okay.
And mom doesn't want to fight it at the end of the day, because it's been a long day for her, so she just caves. And then I end up having a whole bed to myself, which I'm not complaining about at all. But it gets a little like, hey, what am I working for? Oh, I'm just doing it to have my own bed. Yay. So, I don't know.
We have her in a bassinet next to the bed right now.
Yeah.
And we started talking yesterday about when do we do the transition, because we have a crib for her in her own nursery, her own room. Yeah. And, I think we were talking about her in the 6-month mark of trying it. But I also know that Kate has a little bit of separation anxiety about the baby. And, if the baby's right next to her, she rolls over and she's good to go.
Yeah.
Versus if it's in the other room, there's kind of the paranoia of
convenience, and it's not long enough. And,
and now, personally, I would love the baby to have their own room.
Yeah.
Because, we're at the point where, we're getting back into
into the swing of things.
Relational intimacies.
They be fucking again. No, well, not fucking again necessarily, but they become passionate. Okay.
Well, I don't know if her family listens to this, so
fair enough.
But
intimacy level achieved.
We hold hands, right? We hold hands, and sometimes we peck each other on the cheek. And then we're in the middle of pecking each other on the cheek, and suddenly the baby's like, and you're like,
super boner kill. And
not boner kill, just
hand kill. Super hand kill.
Our lips get dry, and we're no longer able to peck each other on the cheek.
Wow. For full subtitle review, stick into the outtakes of this season, and we'll give you full outtakes review on this one. Oh. That must be incredibly bad for having chapped lips.
We are keeping Vaseline in business. This has been Daddy Issues.
Tell us about your unable cock blocking kids. Yeah, there's been definitely times when you want to be intimate again, and it was all like, since the kid's passed out. Let's just say if you are at like a single child's parents' play, or like a kid, if you're at your friend's house and they only got 1 or 2 kids, don't sit on their couch. Just don't sit on their couch, because that honestly is worse than casting couch. I'm just like, we got rid of couches because of things and stuff. Okay.
Oh, that's gross.
You're welcome.
That's okay. I tried to like keep things PG and just made it even worse.
Yeah, totally. You just you're letting the people go there on their minds, and that's not a great thing.
That's fine. Here's the thing: sleep is important.
Super important.
Like sleep's not just important for parents, but it's important in general, right? Like sleep helps us stay alive.
It resets the computer.
I actually like we talk about how I'm in therapy, like as a therapist, and there's a few years ago I went to a symposium all about sleep.
Wow.
I know it sounds boring, but it was actually riveting, and we talked a lot about the sleep bank and how we can get into debt with our sleep clock.
Huh.
And also in the way that like the body works on a circadian cycle, and here in Canada, because our sun during the winter is never up, yeah. And like during the summer it's up all the time. It really messes with our body's ability to get like a full rest of sleep.
And full rest of sleep means metabolism problems or mental issues for sure.
Well,
what do you got?
Like you got first off, like getting a full night's of sleep, you're more productive and you have better concentration.
100%.
Right? And Chris knows this full well from his years of doing math.
Go back to the special episode and have a listen.
Yeah.
But the even just being able to shut down your visual cortex for when I was high was very important. Just to be able to function and not start to hallucinate, because after 24 hours your brain is going to start piecing. It can't be on for that long.
Well, it can't be on for that long, but it also starts to misremember things.
Yeah.
And it can lead to false memories. It can lead to like delusions. It can lead to paranoia.
Yeah.
That's huge. If you go too long without sleep, you die.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah,
like
your brain is like nope.
There was some talk about how and this hasn't been fully proven yet, but how sleep also has a link to possible weight gain and obesity issues.
I could attest to that when I was working night shift. When your sleep schedule gets all screwed up, and I gained weight when I worked night shift.
So I used to work nights as well. I worked nights in a halfway house for guys on parole, and I was speaking to one of my dad's best friends who worked overnights at like a Nestle factory or something like that, and he was telling me that you have to treat every 8-hour overnight shift like a 12-hour day shift.
Yeah.
And that's like for the impact that it has on your body. Because, when you're getting that sleep that you need, you're having better calorie regulation, which means you have a better metabolism. Yeah. It's a better immune system for you. Yeah. So while it might not necessarily mean that not sleeping makes you fat, it definitely plays into the fact that like it's a lot easier. Also, when I'm tired and I come home, do I want to sit down and cook dinner, or do I want to order a pizza?
Yeah, pizza.
Right? Pizza's the easy thing to go with versus sitting down and cooking up some chicken and broccoli or something like that. Yeah. So you get better calorie regulation, which is important, which also gives you like better energy.
Yeah.
And like that energy gives you better performance intensity, better coordination,
less Vaseline usage in the bedroom.
Getting the right amount of sleep lowers your risk of heart disease.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. One risk factor for heart disease is high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Right? And so what happens if you don't get enough sleep?
High blood pressure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately what happens is resting each night allows your body's blood pressure to start to regulate itself.
Yeah, calm down, reset.
Part of the reason that people with high blood pressure typically also have things like sleep apnea is because they're not sleeping well, so their blood pressure spikes. Yeah, you get on a CPAP machine and suddenly your blood pressure drops.
Yeah, because you're regulating oxygen into your bloodstream.
The Journal of Sleep Research actually did a really cool study about how people's sleep responses lead to better social and emotional intelligence.
I would go with that. I would go with that. Sleep responses, meaning how fast they fall asleep and duration of sleep, or
No,
just better
I'd probably
sleep?
say more duration of sleep or like consistency of sleep.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. So if they're like, yeah, no, that makes sense because you're being regulated there again, right? And emotionally, your brain can reset and remember things and be able to just.
Well, we go back to like that whole idea of like better concentration.
Yeah.
Right? Better concentration leads easier to empathy. Because if
right.
I can concentrate on what's going on, I can better understand the situation. I can better empathize with the situation. And empathy is directly related to emotional intelligence.
100%.
Right? Emotional intelligence is directly related to how we can connect with each other on a social level. You know, if I'm a tired old bastard, I'm going to be grumpy. I'm not going to be thinking clearly. I'm going to probably say shit that I don't mean.
And you're going to get fired off Sportsnet.
Hey, look, I'm not Don Cherry. Fuck that motherfucker.
Fuck that guy. He deserved that.
Fuck that guy. I wish that he'd gotten fired decades ago.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't. But now he didn't even.
Kate was funny. She posted on Facebook the other, like right after Don Cherry got fired, she posted a photo of Donald Duck and she's like, what's this Donald going to do to like create the Donald trifecta? Yeah. And then everyone's like, he's been exposing himself for generations.
That's true. Why is he wearing a shirt? There's no pants.
Exactly. Easier access.
Nice.
For when he wants to peck himself on the cheek. Sleep prevents depression.
It does. 100%. Right? You're not sleeping. You're not feeling great. You're freaking tired and you're sad about it. And yeah, it's generally not going to feel great. When you
were smoking meth all the time and you were awake all the time, did you have awful shits?
No.
That's the wrong answer. I'm only joking. Whatever.
Like, be able to, like, metabolize things and digest certain things, right?
Okay.
Like, while I was awake, God, that's one thing I just didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to that shit, champ. No, I know after coming off of, like, a couple of days, and then waking up and not getting high again and actually eating and having a kind of a body reset, you had a good movement. But, like, while I was high, the first thing you do when you're high, it because it's a diuretic, it would make you want to crap.
Okay.
Right? So you do that, and it wasn't liquid, but it was, like, not 100% solid.
Welcome to Chris's BM moment.
Yeah, no problem. This is reflections of the pool of shit. So, no, but and that was, I don't know, that was because I would force myself to have something like a booster juice. I would force something into my stomach. Okay. Besides sugar. I can only speak for me, right?
Yeah, no, and that's fair. Like, I read a really cool. Okay, what I find cool, you might not find cool. Okay. But I read a really cool study in the World Journal of Gastroenterology.
Okay. Definitely not cool for me.
Not cool for you. And they actually, there was an article in there that was talking about the link between sleep deprivation and inflammatory bowel diseases. Huh. So, like, affecting people's gastrointestinal tract. And you know what? I actually, like, I don't, like, I talk about it. I've got stomach issues. Yeah. Like, it's like, I've been through a number of different tests. I've had a number of colonoscopies done. And I definitely can tell you, I have worse stomach issues on nights when I don't sleep well.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, and that's from the source.
Okay, funny colonoscopy story. I'm sorry. Funny colonoscopy story, and then we'll move on.
There's gonna be some funny shit here.
So, I went to a colonoscopy back in January. And when I got there, they're like, disrobe and put on this house coat. And they gave me, like, a small-sized house coat. So, like, I'm out there, and this house coat comes to, like,
for our listeners out there, that's a lot of hair.
Mid-thigh. And I sit down, because they're like, just come out here and sit down. And I sit down, and my balls just pop out. And, like, they just, like, I'm sitting on the edge of the chair, trying to, like, keep my knees together. And my balls just pop out. And a nurse just comes over with a towel and goes, oh, no, honey. And just puts the towel on my lap. And I was like, oh.
Wow, for those of you that are keeping up with the score, that's the second ball story Champ has shared on our lovely program.
That's true. My balls do pop out from time to time.
It's not an episode if we don't have a ball story. So that's good. That's weird.
So those are some of the reasons why we need sleep.
That's right.
And the big thing that is out there around sleep is the fact that we deprive ourselves of sleep so easily. Simply just watching TV before bed. That deprives our brain of sleep because of the blue light. It makes it harder for our brains to go into a REM cycle.
Yeah.
And REM is where we get a big chunk of our body charge.
Yeah.
So like if our body was like a phone being plugged in at night, that's where REM is charging us. But if we are like consistently taking in like screen time, that's going to impact our ability to fall asleep. And then once we have this, we end up like coming in debt to the sleep bank.
Yeah.
And we owe the sleep bank our sleep. We can catch up on it, but it's hard to do. It's why sometimes like Saturday comes and we're like, fuck it, I'm sleeping till 1 p.m.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah. Kids, it's not so easy to do that. No, that's for sure.
So how much sleep do you think an adult between the ages, like our age, so how much sleep do you think that an adult our age needs per night?
7 hours.
It is. It's 7 hours. 7 hours. But if we go younger than that,
I'm going to go with...
it becomes more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like a teenager, to be able to fully develop properly, needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep. A school-age kid between the ages of 6 and 12, like with Eddie right now, needing 9 to 12 hours of sleep. Dropping down to Erica's age category, it's 10 to 13 hours of sleep for that 3 to 5 year old.
Yeah.
Toddlers need 11 to 14 hours of sleep. Infants, that's the 4 to 12 month mark. So we're 1 month away from entering the infant stage, is 12 to 16 hours.
Yeah.
And then the newborn, where we are right now, is 14 to 17 hours a day. And part of that is because it takes so much energy to grow.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you need to constantly be getting that energy.
Yeah.
And that's why you're going to have Eddie, when Eddie was a baby, being fussy in the afternoon, because he needs that sleep. Or, I don't know what the fuck was going on last week, because she needed that sleep, but she was fighting it hard.
Yeah, that's weird, eh? Sometimes I'm just like, no, I got to stay up and see it all. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Do you find that once you fall asleep, you stay asleep?
Yep.
Yeah? Like, you don't wake up in the middle of the night?
With the exception of Erica coming in, being like, Daddy, why are you awake? God damn it. She's been having a disruptive sleep pattern, and it's all having everything to do with screen times. We've recently banished the phones. They were allowed to have an hour before bed, which we take it away. We put them someplace. She just bust out of her room and took them. And she would stay up all night on it. We're like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing? And now we put them up high on a shelf, so she comes in at and looking, please restart the show. I've just said no to it now. And she's calmed right down. But where the hell are we going with that?
Well, I was asking that because we can tell if someone's having poor quality sleep if they're waking up through the night, or if you get the number of hours of sleep you're supposed to get in a night and you're still not rested. Right? Those are some of those signs. So we need to talk about improving sleep quality before we even talk about sleep when it comes to kids and that. Yeah. And I know that we're bridging on the 30-minute mark, so we'll
keep it tight.
We'll keep it tight. The first thing is avoid sleeping in when you've had enough sleep.
Yeah.
Right? If you've gotten your hours of sleep in,
get up.
Get up. I know that you're like, but I can sleep in for an extra 4 hours. You know what you can do to get that same amount of energy is you take a 20-minute power nap in the middle of the day. Same amount of energy as sleeping in an extra 2 hours in the morning.
That's true.
Going to bed at the same time each night.
Yeah,
is important.
I'm very consistent with mine. Yeah,
I'm getting better at that. Right now is if it's not a comedy night.
Yeah, if it's not a comedy, all bets are off on comedy nights. But between
10 and 11, if it's not a comedy night, I like to have all the lights out by 11. If it's not a comedy night.
Wow, that's pretty late.
Is that late
for you? For me, for sure. I'm done by 10.
You're done by 10.
I'm done by 10. 9:30. I'm fighting to keep my eyes open.
So 9:30 is when we start kind of the bedtime routine with Maddie.
Okay.
And it takes about half an hour to get her down, and then we just lounge a little bit,
Lights. We start our bedroom time routine at like 7:30, and that includes getting both of them bathed and then stuff like that. Yeah, important routine. We're done by 9.
Okay. And then comedy nights fuck everything.
Oh, they totally fuck everything up.
Spending more time outside being active during the day.
Yep.
And
fresh air.
Fresh air is huge.
Huge.
Sunlight is huge.
Yeah, the old vitamin D.
It is. And like I said, back at the beginning, we work on a circadian rhythm cycle, right? Yeah. So being out in the sun is important because, when the sun goes down, that tells our brain when it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
The problem is where we bring like screens and blue light into it is that's enough light to convince our brain to stay awake because the sun's out.
Because the sun's out, yeah.
Also, a big thing to help us sleep is reducing stress. So recognizing what stresses you out and finding self-care management ways to deal with it. So whether that's exercise or therapy, or I like to make jigsaw puzzles. I know it's lame, but it helps.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, those are some of the things that are some of the reasons why sleep is important.
Absolutely.
Now, when we're talking about kids, it's harder, right? Okay, so this is from a newspaper. So take it as a mainstream media.
Grain of salt. Okay, cool.
Guess on average how much sleep new parents will get in the night for the first year of their baby's life.
5 hours.
You're actually very close.
Oh,
yeah.
What was it?
The average is 4 hours and 44 minutes of sleep. Yeah. It means that mothers and fathers are sleeping approximately 59% less than the recommended 8 hours of sleep a night, and they're losing an equivalent of 50 nights of sleep.
Wow. Excuse me. Wow.
50 nights of sleep. In your first year of having a kid, you're losing 50 nights of sleep from your life. That's insane.
That is insane. You're literally shortening your lifespan by not sleeping.
I know. And we're like, let's have well, we're not having multiple babies, but like people who have multiple babies, like if you have 6 babies, that's 6 years of 4 hours and 44 minutes of sleep, unless you get to the point where you're just like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm going to let him scream in his crib in his room.
Sometimes that does help, letting him cry it out 100%.
Sometimes.
It's not keel every time, but yeah, at a certain point, do what's right for you.
Did you ever have to do anything specific to manage sleep when Eddie and Erica were in the first 3 months?
For them or us? For us?
For them, because when the baby sleeps for the first year, that's when you sleep.
Yeah. Amanda, during the day, she had her rhythm and her pattern with him. My work schedule, we basically honed the nighttime schedule off my work schedule.
Okay.
So that's how they had a regimented time for bath or time for just being able to, shut the screens off and then out. And I don't, in my bedroom, it was only recently that we put a TV in, and I hate it. And it's mostly just so Amanda could watch something while she's folding laundry or doing whatever upstairs. Mm-hmm. And I just don't enjoy it. So there's no screen time in my room.
We have a TV in our bed.
See, there you go.
Not in our bed, but in our bedroom.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is just because, Sundays, I really like watching football, and I will watch football all day on Sunday.
I do miss football.
And she does not like watching football. So, me, I'll take Maddie, and me and Maddie will just sit downstairs and watch football all day. Yeah. And she'll be like, I'm going to go watch all my back episodes of Dateline upstairs. And then be paranoid every time you come up the stairs that it's a serial killer or a rapist.
Someone's getting a hockey mask for Christmas this year.
I'll peck you on the cheek. I think you had Amanda's parents living with you or her mom and stepdad living with you guys for this entire time, right?
We had a year and a bit all of just us, and then for the last 2 years, they've lived with us. So it hasn't been the whole time. No.
But have they brought in skills or not necessarily skills, but have they been able to come in and kind of spell you off a little bit so you guys can get rest when you need rest?
Yes, and we haven't really used it for that because we've used them for going out time.
Okay.
Yeah, there are built-in like kind of babysitters. We give them a couple days in advance, and we're like, okay, we're going. They've also freed us up to focus on the evening routine by taking up other chores.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Grandpa will clean the kitchen every night, and he'll sort it all out.
That's nice
Right?
to
You
have
know, that's
like
super
that
great to have.
consistency.
Yeah, that consistency, right? And the days when he's not sick, we don't mind doing whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then as far as also with yard work and things like that too, because I wouldn't have the time to take a look after the acre that I live on. You know what I mean? So there's that. Joanne spends a bit of time with the kids just before bed, kind of to get us on a reset, and then we get them in the bath and get them going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have like kind of a community that like a little family community that helps raise the kids, which is really
That's right. Yeah, it's very helpful.
And
oh man,
that's important. Like one of the
Super
big
important.
things that when I was like doing some research on managing sleep with a newborn and a child, the first thing it was is delegate chores to your friends and family if they're coming to visit and you need help. And we've had so many people that have like come and be like, oh, we'd love to babysit, and I'm like, I don't need you to
do
babysit.
that, no.
Why don't you do my dishes?
Could you do something for me instead? Yeah, like exactly.
I could use a massage.
Could you sort out this recycling? It's just a heap of papers.
That's tomorrow morning for me.
All right, on.
For breastfeeding mothers, pumping ahead of time, so that way, like, that's perfect because like it gives me a chance to feed Maddie too.
Yeah.
And on weekends, I don't do it on the weekdays because I have to be up early and going to work, and I already have sleep issues as it is. But like on a Saturday, I have no problem waking up at 7 a.m. because my body kind of naturally wakes me up early now. And I'll take Maddie down and, give her a bottle from the fridge, and then we'll hang out. Like, we were watching Mayans MC while that was on every Saturday morning.
Gotta teach him about the basic skills of street land.
And then once Maddie was ready to have a nap, I would go and have another nap.
Yeah.
It worked out nicely.
Yeah, I always usually, when I have weekends off, it's definitely my time with the kids. I get up first, I'll have dinner or breakfast for them. Amanda gets to sleep in time. It's really how it goes. But she was abusing it for a bit. She's like, no, I'm going to just get up by no later than 9 o'clock. That's kind of what I should be doing. It's nice to pay back the sleep bank, but at the same time, she's like, she realized that it was costing her as well. So, yeah.
Okay. So here's a few things that, like, we can see as ways to help a baby sleep through the night. We've kind of already brought up some of these things, but the first thing, the most important thing is establishing a bedtime routine. Yep. Right? So we talked about your routine. We talked about my routine. It's out there. It helps. We also need to start to teach our babies or our children how to self-soothe. Yeah. Which means that, it's we're soothing them less, but we're still being available, right? Some studies that I was reading was not about, like, it's saying, like, respond when your baby cries, but don't necessarily pick them up. Like, put your hand on their chest, or maybe rub their head, or sing to them, or just talk to them. You don't necessarily need to
pick them up. No.
You don't need to necessarily get into the habit of that, although that's your first instinct.
Yeah.
Because I find one of the things that calms Maddie down is what I'll do is I'll rest my hand on her chest, and she'll feel my warmth, and she'll kind of calm down, and then I'll start to tickle her feet. And then I'll normally get some laughter. Or not necessarily, like, she's not laughing like, ha ha ha, but she'll give me big smiles, and the crying stops. Until I either stop tickling her feet or move my hand off of her chest.
Yeah, and then she's like, dear.
It's important to be, to follow a schedule.
Yep.
Sticking to an appropriate bedtime. The hard thing for parents is being patient.
Yeah. If you don't have sleep, you're not patient.
Be patient. Be patient. Don't be in such a hurry. If you don't have patience, you only start to worry. I don't remember the rest of that song.
I don't know what he's singing, but man, it's fucking truthful.
I remember that song from when I was a kid.
Holy shit.
Also, the whole idea would be, like, creating a warm and relaxing room for the child. Like, it's got to be inviting.
Yeah, don't paint your kids' rooms fucking yellow. Like, don't do that. That's just wrong. Don't. Yellow actually upsets children. That constant sun. I can't remember where I saw it. We'll have to look it up. But yeah, yellow is one of those aggravating colors when you constantly look at it. You put somebody in a yellow room, it's like, what the...
When I was in high school, my room was painted yellow. I loved it.
You're an annoying fuck, so that's fine. No,
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But the ambience is important. We use a white noise machine with Maddie.
Fans are in both the kids' rooms.
And the white noise machine says to Naomi, the white noise machine has actually helped me fall asleep and stay asleep.
Huh.
And I normally used to have to sleep in silence, but now that white noise machine is going, I have a hard time falling asleep without it.
Huh.
When it comes to kids, making sure that you're not giving them any foods or drinks with caffeine in it right before bed.
My kids don't
or alcohol. Making sure the temperature in the room is appropriate and comfortable, and that the bedroom is dark. Yellow makes it hard for the bedroom to be dark.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just an annoying color.
What time do you guys do dinner?
Usually we have it around 6:30. Done by 7. 7:30 bath.
Okay.
Bam, into the bath for both, or one of them, and then the other one gets a shower. It's quick.
And then like bedtime starts around 8?
Yeah.
So one of the big things is if you start to notice that your kids aren't sleeping well, you should be moving your dinner a little bit earlier in the day. Because if you're giving them big meals within like an hour or two of them going to bed, their stomach is working on digesting that, right? Yeah. Which is going to have some issues with them falling asleep.
Erica's always hungry at like 4:30, and she doesn't serve dinner for another hour and a half, so I got to feed Erica a bunch of stuff. Then she doesn't eat, and then before bed, she's like, I'm hungry.
No, it's fair. You got to find like the special middle ground, right? Making sure that like if there's any after dinner playtime, making sure that's relaxing, not anything that's overstimulating, because overstimulation is going to keep the brain going. Getting rid of television, computers, screens within like an hour before going to bed is important. Yeah, we kind of talked about that with Dylan Black a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, like those are kind of some of our tips that we've looked at around sleeping. Doing some of this research, preparing for this Minisode, it gave me some ideas about how I'm going to kind of approach bedtimes with Maddie moving forward, because Daddy's tired as fuck.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's probably the biggest reason you guys didn't get an episode last Sunday is like...
His dad's tired as fuck, yo.
Like, Chris was like, do we have anything planned? I'm like, dude, I can't even think about tomorrow.
I just pictured like him, like Jack Torrance in The Shining, just go out from our last Minisode, go watch The Shining.
I gave special thanks to Stanley Kubrick.
Anyway, this is good.
This is good. And so here's the thing: is like we would love to hear your tips. What's worked for you with your kids in helping them get to sleep? We both joke on stage about our children, and I've got that joke about the LCBO registry, and about how at checkout that little bottle of 40 Creek is more like that little bottle will shut the fuck up and go to sleep. Of course, I'm only joking.
Partially.
But it's funny. I told that joke last night because I was on last night at the club, and Josh Williams was hosting. I think that's episode 3.
Yes.
Episode 3, Josh Williams. Go back and check it out. He was hosting, and I went up bullet, so I went up first, and Josh brings me up with the credit. He's like, our next comedian is a dad, and everybody booed. So I get up there, I was like, wow. No comedy credits. He's just a fucking dad. He hasn't slept in 2 weeks. And they did not like me at all.
No,
they did not.
He put a pretty big hole for you to dig out of.
And then I get off stage, and he comes back up on stage, and he goes, Matthew Champ, everybody. He's funnier when he's had time to sleep. And I'm like, you're not wrong.
No, that's accurate.
You're not wrong. So yeah, send us your tips about how sleep has improved for you, or like what you've done to help your kids with sleeping.
First one to send us anything gets us goddamn movie tickets.
I don't know if the movie's going to be in theaters that long. The reviews were awful.
Yeah, the reviews were horrible.
Were awful.
We get it. Nobody wanted these things. Fuck, like I can't save this shit. All
right. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Find us wherever you find your podcast. We're going to have some guests again in the near future. We've got a few cool ones lined up. If you are a dad and you have something that you want to talk about with us, reach out to us at wegotdaddyissues@gmail.com, because we want more than just comedians and like personalities. We want dads, right?
It bothers me.
We want dads with experience. We want dads with stories. We want dads who are coming to talk about issues.
Yeah.
So
issues like your balls coming out.
Hey, both of those happened before I had a child.
That's true.
My balls have stayed in my pants since I had a child.
For now.
For now. Also, okay, so we're going to wrap up. We're going to close off this episode. But before I do that, I have one more show I want to promote.
What's that?
You remember Jacob Pollack? Jacob Pollack's the guy that writes all that cool music for our podcast.
Yes, Jacob. Sorry, yeah.
So Jacob plays in like an eclectic jazz funk band. He's fronted.
Wow.
And he has a show coming up December 5th at Rainbow Bistro in Ottawa in the Byward Market. It's a Thursday night, December 5th. It starts at 9 p.m. It's a perfect time to call in sick on a Friday. And, you know, the Rainbow Bistro is one of the best places in Ottawa to find MDMA.
And apparently smooth laid back jazz on a Thursday.
It's more of an eclectic funk jazz. It's
Okay.
not smooth laid back. Like, you're going to want that. No.
You're going to want that MDMA is what you're going to want.
No, I can't remember the name of his band off the top of my head, but he reached out to me and he's like, I've got this cool show coming up. You should come and see it. And I was like, not only will I come and see it, but I'll fucking plug it, man, because your music's awesome. And, you know, he wrote that music for us, like using a synthesizer, did it like really quickly. And I'm sure he'll give us some more music as time goes by.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's great. So
check
that out.
Check him out, Rainbow Bistro, December 5th.
Go back, listen to all of our other podcasts, our full episodes, our minisodes, our special episode where Chris talks about his crystal meth addiction. Because if you're just tuning in now, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about meth so much for? Go back, listen to the bonus episode, Crystal Meth, a recovery story. Everything will make sense.
Yeah.
You guys are fantastic. Thank you for listening. Italy, this one's going out to you. Poti volare. When the moon hits your eye, that's a big pizza pie, that's some more. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's good.
Now go get some sleep.
Yeah, totally.